here from Joolsedesigns at JT Creations. So this is my Summer Fun digital journal. Now as you can see, I've put it to the spine. I haven't stitched around it, but I didn't do any pockets in the kit. I just did tags and waterfalls and stuff like that. The only thing I did different was you get that sheet, I printed it twice, so there's 9 pages, and I put them where I wanted, so that matches that, that matches that, that and that. But what I wanted, obviously I wanted some pockets, so what I've been doing is I've been messing on. So I did some dip dyeing, which I used the colours. I did that one, and I did that one, and it's all ink and bits of tea dye in the back, and I used the ink to do the grasses because there is grasses on these bits, as you can see. There's some there, you know, so I could do a pocket there that would match. Could do a pocket there with just a bit of the blue, or just even use that. The same with this, I just wanted it to match. So I'll just give you a quick into how I achieved these. You've seen me do these kind of things before, but this, I used mixed media paper. Now this is cheap. I got this from the range here in the UK. I think it was about £2 for 80 sheets. It doesn't say what GSM, and it's actually from the USA. It's made in the USA, so you should be able to get it over there. So I just put didn't bother cutting them off or anything, and what I did was it's got 3 tea bags in there. It's been sitting for a little while, so it's and I just take my little 1-inch paintbrush, and and tea is a lot lighter than coffee. I didn't want it too yellow. I just wanted it a nice sandy colour, and you notice I'm not putting any up there. And then I just dried this off. There, that's that dry. And then what I used was, I'm just cleaning my brush a bit, get the tea off, and then I just use a bit of packaging, and I think I'm going to go with Stormy. No, I'm not. I'm going to go with Chipped Sapphire. It's the shade of blue I want. So it's quite a dark shade of blue, and I just rub that on like that. Mix a bit of water with it. You can use watercoloured paints. I've used, on one of them, I used acrylic. I call it acrylic. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? And then I just go over it and use it like a watercolour paint, basically. And then we'll just give it some little sprinkles, as you can see. Wipe that up with my cloth. And then I just go in with the same colour and just go along. And I'm going a bit over, there's a hair there. I must be molting. Just using all that up. And then we'll dry that off. Okay, so that's that. Then what I've got is I've got some spray stain, the tumbled glass, and again just do squirts, and I'll put a little bit of water in this one, and again I'm just not wanting, you know, it too different. I just want it to look just the either the sky or the sea. It's just whatever you want it to be. And then before I let that dry, I've got some, see my hands have been playing, haven't I? It's antique linen, and I'm just, and on that one I will spray some water, and we'll just let that run a little bit and just let it pool. And then we'll mop that up a bit and dry it off. Okay, then I'm going to use some more antique linen and just keep not putting any water on this one. I'm trying to get this hair off, and then we'll just, I'm just splatting it on. I think there's a little bit of blue on this and then what we'll do is we'll do some and I'm just putting water on and taking it back off again. And I think that's the required effect I want, so we'll dry this off. And there we are. And then what I did was put some antique linen on there. Got a little thin brush, dip it in water and just make sure it's long and thin. Just roll, and because it's the same colour, and then just do long strokes, just like tufts of dried grass that's been sun scorched. You don't have to be perfect with this, and there don't have to be perfect bits of grass. Put some more up there. You can put a little bit more around at the bottom of the clumps, just to darken it off. Put some, and I'm not pressing the brush heavily on the paper, I'm just kind of flicking it. I'm even going back over it, you know, where I've done grass. And because I'm not doing this a lot, it's drying quite quick. And we'll do some up the side like that. Then I've got bundled sage, and it's only because it's and it is an oxide. The rest I've been using spray stains, but this is an oxide, and it's just because this is the required colour I want. So I am just gently going in the clumps, and just the very, very tip of the brush, just so it gives just a hint of green. Now I'm not, I do watercolours, you know, I've done pictures of my little dog. I'm not an expert by any means, and some of you expert artists out there will be like thinking, what on earth? But to me, there's no rules in art, in any type of art, apart from your colour wheel. Getting your colours right, but how you get your colours right is your business. And how you feel when you're holding a brush or whatever medium you're using, it's entirely up to you. Nothing to do with anybody else. If it makes you happy, and I'm dipping it in the antique linen as well, so I'm getting kind of like a different coloured green there. And I'm just going back over the little clumps. And we'll put some little ones here. It's kind of, you know, when you go onto a deserted beach where the sand dunes are, nobody wants to sunbathe in the sand dunes. Actually, that's the cleanest sand. Usually, unless you get lots of dog walkers there, then you have to be careful if they don't pick up their dog poop. And that really riles me, because I have a dog and I constantly, we take bags with us everywhere we go and pick up poop. Okay, so that's that. So we'll then what I want is, I'm just wondering if I should use an oxide, and I've got tumbled glass here in the oxide. Just there. And I'll wipe that down a bit, dry it off. And in the oxide, it's quite a pale colour, so I'm not being any, I'm just using the edge of my long brush. Put it down a bit more. And because it's mixed media paint, it's drying quite quick. Mixed media paper. Okay, and then I'm just going to spray that a little bit, just give it a couple of squirts, and then we'll take it off. And again, just let it settle in a bit, and then we'll take it off. I quite like that, so I'm just going to dry that off a bit. Okay, so there we are. So it's a little bit different from the last one. There is some darker blues in there. And I could get that with chipped sapphire, but I'm not going to. I could even use a you know, a water pen or whatever. So I think we're going to put our pocket on this side. Now I am going to stitch it, but I'm not going to stitch it yet. I'm going to take this frilly little edge off, unless I wanted to put it in. No, the grass will be upside down, so we'll take the frilly edge off. And I'm just smoothing it out as much as I can. Now what I'm doing is I'm turning this side over, because I'm going to have a like, you know, flaps, so that it's kind of a deeper pocket for putting things in. Now the stitching is going to run up there, and there will be stitching down here. I'm molting. I'm getting worse than the dog. So we'll just do that there, and then that crease there, I don't want to cut on the crease. I want it probably about ½ an inch, and that'll make a nice tag. And then fold that in. Okay, and then I want a fold at the bottom. And I'm trying to get it as straight as possible. You know, if I'd opened it like that, it would have been a lot easier. So then you can match your sides up. Okay, so when you fold your sides, you get this square. So what I want is, whoops, got ink going on my, never mind, on the back of my journal. I want that off. And yeah, this is mixed media paper. It is quite strong. And I'm just, yeah, I'm going to have it that deep. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a notch in there. Oh no, it's because it's still a bit damp. All right, okay. So we take my little scissors and just round it off like that. It's left a mark and it's practically cut into it. I need to sharpen that up again. I think I want to actually folded it in the middle there, and I'm just cutting from the middle out. So if you haven't got a circle punch, you can do your notches like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink around. I just want to see if there's any ink on this. Maybe it's a bit dark, so we'll go with Vintage Photo. In fact, I think we'll go with tea dye. It's a bit lighter. I think it's a mixture of quite a lot of other inks, but never mind. Out there. And if you wanted to, you could do a different colour, you know, you could do it in blue. I quite like that. Yep. So what I do now is we glue the flaps. Usually what I do is I do one near the edge, not too near the edge because I don't want it squeezing into the pocket, and one on the outskirts. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it up a little bit because I want it between, because obviously I'm still going to stitch these pages, but I wanted to get this, it was an idea I got in my head, and you know when you get an idea in your head and you can't get it out. And there we are. So I have some of the bits here. So we have this, there's 3 of these. I think we'll put that one in. So I'm going to ink around this. And there is a freebie, and it's kind of, it's a fussy cut. It's got bags and shoes and shells and coconuts and things like that on. So put that up there and we'll see what fussy cuts we've got in here that will go with it. So pull them out. These are the ones I've cut out. And then so there's a bag, there's a pair of shoes, there's a shell, there's a different bag as well, there's 2 different, and if you want more fussy cuts you just print them out more times. I think we might have that one, and we'll have the shell behind. I think there's a drink here. Yeah, I think we might have the drink. So what I'm going to do is I've not cut the middle out, and I'm just going to do that now. I'll speed it up. Okay, so we'll just ink round. Obviously when you've cut this out of, you know, off a white background, you do get white bits. And there is more on this. There's sort of like grass leaves and that, but I'll just cut them off. If you want to leave them on, you can leave them on. And I'm just putting that at a jaunty angle, and I'm going to trim this bit off because we don't need it. It's like a bit of sand, but you don't have to have it, so I'm just going to ink around that. Or are we going to have that in the background? And the shoes there. Yep. Put the drink down first. Could be lemonade, it could be a mojito, it could be whatever. It looked like a mojito when it had all the grass and everything around it. I know I've been to Cuba. I like mojitos. Proper mojitos, not the things that you get over here in the UK. Okay, and I'm just going to get a stamp, and we'll have a stamp. Got some new wordy stamps from Temu, and I think I'll have wherever you go, you'll bring your own sunshine, because obviously at the beach you bring your own sunshine. So we'll just put that there, put that on there. I'm just going to pop these out of the way. And I'm going to use Memento's Rich Coconut. Rich Coconut, that's me. Rich Cocoa, not Rich Coconut. Alright, I'm just going to stamp on this first just to see what it's like. Yeah, that's fine. It's the colour I want. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is, before I do anything else, I'm going to stitch around this tag, and I'll come back to you before we put the ribbon and everything in. So I'll see in a bit. Okay, so not only did I stitch around the tag, I stitched around the page as well. So it's kind of different shades of blue, but I did yellow underneath. I changed the whole thing. And it's the same with that. So we can pop that in there. But what I do want is I want some sort of like sandy, grungy bits. And I do have... Right, so I've got this one, and what I want to use is I want to use antique linen to keep it in, and I'm using the Distress Ink stain one, and I'm not putting it on a stamp block, and it's like bubbles. I'm going to put some on the pocket as well. Around the edges, I'll get some. Quite like it coming out of that pocket, quite like that. So you don't have to, you know, if you want something, you can just lift up your pocket, unless you want something perfect. I'm not really wanting perfect. And I could have done this in blue to match that, but I didn't want to. Well, let me have a look at this and we'll see. I think we might have some bubbles on here, but I think I might go with the frayed burlap. I'm just going to do it lightly and just do it near there. That's a bit too dark. Just lightly again. And I'll cover that, then I'll go for the antique linen in the oxide. That's, it kind of matches the brush. I'll pop a little bit down here as well. 2 seconds. That was my husband asking if the crafting world was going to release his wife. He wants to spend some time with me. What a shame. And I think we'll have a grommet in there. And we'll have a large one. And have an antique brass, I think it is. Okay, put that back on there. And I want some now this is still autumn, but I quite like this. It's like a sand, and I've got this one. I think it's going to be this one. Okay, and just tying it in a knot, as I like the knots on it. It's double-sided satin, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. And normally I would put like a V shape. Well, I can still do that. So you just fold the ribbon in half like that, and obviously your V shape needs to be near the knot, so normally I would come in from the side of the ribbon in towards the knot. And these aren't the best scissors. There we are. And could have done green to match the green on the bag, and I think we might have a little tag. I think we'll have that one. No, there we are. I knew I had a bow pin somewhere. And this is one of the resin ones that we did the other day. Oh. And then we'll pull that down like that. Push that like that. And what else have we got? Those other tags. I think these are a bit too small, these library cards. Yeah, they're a bit too small. But I think we might have a... No, that's too colourful for there. About the little... Yeah. A little bottle full of sand and shells. Alright, I'm not going to put that down too tight, because what I want is I want to label which one of these yellow ones I want, the coffee dyed ones. You are stronger than you think. That is the one. And I'm going to take, because it's been stamped a bit wonky, okay. And these digital papers will, you know, do your sort of like your holiday, honeymoon, day at the beach. And you can make it as tropical or as whatever you want. And there we are. Just a simple page with a painted pocket just to match, and you would think it was part of the digital. You don't have to have it as part of the digital, but I mean, I could have quite easily just done one of these. These would have been nice, and I still will use these, I think. Because I do want that as one of the tags, and I will make a tag out of that. And I think we might make a booklet out of one of these, you know, just fold it in half and have a booklet that fits in one of the pockets. I might even do it out of that. Be quite nice, because that just looks like the sand. Anyway, I hope you get something out of this. I hope you have a go, and thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.